Hotel. Welcome to myself. The show today is titled The Purpose of Life. I'll tell you the secret as to how and why I came up with that topic. There are times when I'm contemplating what to talk about on the show that I'll get into some frustration and indecisiveness about what it is that I am going to talk about. And then it is when I engage in some meditation, quiet my mind, that I'm reminded that it's not up to me what I'm going to talk about, and I should stop worrying about uh, what it is that I'm going to say, because it's not about me, and that is not really me in particular. In particular, when I'm discussing spirituality, that's not supposed to be me. It's not coming from me. It's for me to be a vessel for the information to come through. So it ends up being, when I get caught up in thinking that it's for me that I'm doing anything, is when I have a problem. So today, as I was going through that and quieted my mind and meditated, is when the topic of the purpose of life. So we're going to get into that. We're also going to briefly cover some events that I think are worthy of note, but seems to have escaped the notice and attention of many people that I've observed. I even posted on a couple of those things without very much response or notice. And I also want to stop and also take note of the fact that and give thanks for people who wish me a happy solar return, happy birthday. Yesterday was Brother Sarah's solar return, and quite a number of people gave me solar return and happy birthday wishes. So I thank and appreciate everyone who did so. And, I'm humbled and appreciative. My son's birthday today, so he was my greatest birthday present. But so I've posted a couple of things that have seem to have escaped some people's notice that I want to bring attention to. One is that the Supreme Court, with the conservative justices that former President Trump was able to appoint during his term in office. And just on a side note, pointing out how Obama didn't exercise the same degree of intestinal fortitude in order to push his people through. And thus, we have a Supreme Court that is stacked for conservatives, some of who were expected to and not doing Trump did. asked for, of which is granting him immunity from prosecution based upon the acts that he engaged in during his presidency, in specific, his actions to try to overturn the election and to incite the riot that occurred on the Capitol to help facilitate his efforts to overturn the election. And you see that to a large extent, the Supreme Court has ruled in his favor. But it seems to have escaped the notice of many people. The ruling is an affront to the, I'll say, the illusion of democracy, where it's become now pretty overt that that does not exist. And so now, any president basically is virtually a king and cannot be held, according to the Supreme Court, accountable for any actions that he takes and or she takes in their official capacity as president. So I posted that, and only one person seemed to notice. Seems that many people are either don't care or are distracted by the many things that are put forth to do just that, to distract us. But for those who think, pay attention. I understand that there's some static on the line. I'm not sure what I can do. But why don't we try to do this? Maybe we'll stop and restart in a few minutes to see if we can address the static. So let me go ahead and end this and restart in probably maybe 5 minutes. Restart 5 minutes. There it is. Okay. My producer is going to check in the sound. So I'm just going to go time it now. So while we wait on that, the other thing that actually people paid more attention to was the recent debate between former President Trump and current President Biden. And currently there's a lot of concern being expressed about the performance of President Biden. I didn't watch it, but I've seen clips of it, which looked really bad on Biden's part. And it looks like he lacked the capacity to be able to think on his feet during the debate, which gives rise to concern as to his capacity to do so as president. And I noted today that a number of Democrats, including Nancy Pelosi. Also, I think the governor or senator in Texas have also expressed some concern about Biden's capacity to be able to lead the country as president. And some of them have called for him to step aside. And I bring that to our attention, not to tout Trump, but just to point out that the fact that there really is no appreciable choice. I'm not a fan of Biden. I'm not a fan of Trump. And if one were to engage in any kind of research, you will ultimately find that they are controlled by the same forces, and there is no real appreciable difference in their aims in terms of governing the country. There may be some slight distinctions in how they choose to carry it out, the method in which they do so, but the ultimate objective is the same either way. As Prince said in his song, "Colonized Mind." He points out that there's an illusion of choice, but that's where too dangerous, illusion of choice. And that is exactly what it is that we have. And to illustrate that point, one need only research or just even go back and get some clips from the respective candidates, Trump and Biden, and find out what their position is on Israel. And then for those who wish to delve a little further into it, look into the financial backers of each of those individuals. You will find many of the same people. But you'll find that the result ends up being the same. They have exactly the same position on Israel, which is why you don't see President Biden doing anything to intercede on behalf of the Palestinians being brutalized in the current war, if you can call it that, in Israel. Of note today, I see that a number of government employees have resigned over Biden's policy with respect to the Gaza Strip and the Palestinians, the proposals for ceasefire, which the United States has vetoed or refused to approve. I remember maybe a few weeks ago, there was one particular government official, and I read his position on why he was resigning. And you see today that a number of different co-workers and employees of the government also ended up joining this individual resigning. And they issued a joint statement to illustrate what their position is and why it is that they would resign, and their frustrations with the Biden administration's policy over regional Palestine. So I just wanted to bring those things to to your attention. Pay attention. These I can go on, but there's a number of different things that I think I want to get to tonight's topic. So apparently we have the check and there's still some static. So what I think I will do is we'll go ahead and suspend the broadcast and then come back on in a few minutes. And yeah, I'm trying to see if I can resolve the static issue. Okay, so bear with us as we we return back. Yeah, I see somebody else preparing for the static. So we're going to go ahead and just continue and then log back in. Try to resolve the audio issue. So we'll be right back.